Hi everyone, it's Esther. Welcome to Module 1, Lesson 1. For this program, you are going to need a copy of the Discover Canada Guide. You can download it or order a paper copy from the website that I have included in the resource area for this module. I wanted to start our lessons at the very beginning of the Discover Canada Guide, but then I noticed page 44 in the guide had this great map of Canada, and I thought it would be best to learn more about Canada's geography before we go on and learn more about Canada. So that's where we're going to start today. On page 44 of the Discover Canada Guide, we see a title, Canada's Regions. As you probably already know, Canada is a huge country. In fact, it's the second largest country on Earth at 10 million square kilometers. Your guide states that Canada's population is about 34 million people. Now this was in 2012, so this information has changed. We're now closer to 38 million people. Okay, now let's look at some Canadian geography. You can see on the map that Canada is surrounded by 3 oceans, the Pacific to the west, the Arctic to the north, and the Atlantic to the east. Along the southern edge of Canada is the United States border. Canada has 10 provinces and 3 territories. All 3 territories are in Canada's north. So first we're going to learn the names of the provinces and the territories and the capital cities. We're going to first start in the west and we're going to go east and then we're going to go north. I will be saying the names of the provinces and the territories and the city names, and I would like you to practice them as well for yourself. If you're able to say these names correctly, you're going to sound a lot more Canadian. Let's start with British Columbia. Many people call this province BC for short. If you hear someone say, "I'm from BC," they mean British Columbia. The capital of British Columbia is Victoria. Notice when we look closer that the capital city is not Vancouver, even though it's the biggest city in that province. Victoria is on Vancouver Island. The next province over is Alberta. Practice saying it. Alberta. Notice it's not pronounced Alberta. It sounds like Alberta. Alberta. And the capital city of Alberta is Edmonton. The next province is Saskatchewan. Let me slow this down so you can get all of the sounds and then put it back together again. Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan. And the capital city of Saskatchewan is Regina. Okay, the next province is called Manitoba. Manitoba. The capital city is Winnipeg. The next province is called Ontario. Ontario. And the capital is Toronto. Now, when Canadian people say Toronto, it sounds like Toronto. So you can just listen for that and then you'll know. Okay, so that's the capital city of Ontario. Okay, just checking in. How are you doing? Are you able to say the names? Remember, if you want to, you can rewind and replay these lessons as much as you want. Okay, let's keep going. We're going to keep moving east, and we're now in Quebec. Quebec is the French province. English people call it Quebec, Quebec, and the French call it Quebec. Both are fine. You can pronounce it both ways. The capital city is Quebec City, or in French, it's called La Ville de Québec. So just east of Quebec and to the south, when we look at our map, we see a small province called New Brunswick. New Brunswick. It sounds like one word, but it's two. Now the capital is called Fredericton. Okay, the next province over is Nova Scotia. The T in Scotia sounds like sh. Nova Scotia. The capital of Nova Scotia is Halifax. Just above Nova Scotia, you're going to see a very tiny province called Prince Edward Island. It is small, but it is a province. Canadians call this province PEI for short. It's a little province with a big name, and the capital city is Charlottetown. Moving north, we see our last province. It's called Newfoundland and Labrador. You can see on the map there are two areas. The island part is called Newfoundland, and the part of land that is attached to Quebec is called Labrador. It is one province called Newfoundland and Labrador. And the capital city of Newfoundland and Labrador is St. John's. St. John's. The ST is a short form for saint in English. St. John's. Okay, so now we need to go north. We need to go up to Canada's territories. So starting from the west again on the map, we see the Yukon Territory. Sometimes people just say the Yukon. The capital of the Yukon Territory is Whitehorse. Going east, we see the Northwest Territories. This is a very large area of land. The capital of the Northwest Territories is called Yellowknife. I think this is a very interesting name for a city, don't you? Our last territory is called Nunavut. You may notice this does not sound like an English word at all, and it isn't. It is an Inuktitut name from the Inuit language used across Canada's north. The capital city of Nunavut is called Iqaluit, and you guessed it, that is also an Inuktitut name. So now you have learned the names of Canada's provinces and territories and their capital cities. But Canada as a country has a capital city too. It is called Ottawa, and it's in Ontario. Notice I did not say Ottawa the way it is spelled. I said Ottawa, and that's how Canadian people say it. So Ottawa is the capital city of Canada, and it was chosen by Queen Victoria in 1857. If you look at page 45 in your Discover Canada guide, you will see a nice colorful map that shows the 5 regions of Canada. In orange, we see the Atlantic provinces, Newfoundland and Labrador, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick. Central Canada is blue, and it consists of Ontario and Quebec. The prairie provinces are Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta. The West Coast region is just one province, British Columbia. The coast of British Columbia is along the Pacific Ocean. And of course, the north is where Canada's 3 territories are, the Yukon and the Northwest Territories, as well as Nunavut. Okay, so we have completed this lesson. Why don't you go into the module and try out the activities and the quizzes? See if you can match the names of the provinces and territories with their capital cities. Okay, hope to see you soon in the next lesson.